Give me a B. Give me an A. Give me a G. Give me an E. What does that spell? BAGE. What the heck is BAGE? Welcome, grade 4 friends, to another music lesson. And yes, I confess I was never cool enough to be a cheerleader. However, I am cool enough to be your music teacher. So we are going to be practicing BAGE with our friend, Old Squeaky here, better known as the recorder. But first, I would like to ask you, what do cheerleaders and musicians have in common? Unfortunately, I am unable to hear your responses. But if you're thinking along the lines that their minds and bodies need to work together, then you're on to the right track. So I'm not quite sure if you know this, but many musicians practice yoga or something else called Alexander technique so that they can be more in touch with their body and have better control when they're playing. It also enhances their listening skills. So we're going to start today by doing some breathing and stretching. And I encourage you, before you play either the recorder or any other instrument, that you warm up your body and your mind before you play. Okay, so let's start by breathing in. We're going to go. And let it out. Exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale. Now we're going to pat our body. So wake up the arms, shoulder, other arm. You can pat on your head, behind your head, shoulders. Then you're going to pat on your thighs, and your legs, feet, other leg. This also wakes up your brain. Let's do some brushes on your arms and shake it out. Okay, so our posture, we want to be nice and tall and relaxed. Great. Now, you should have your recorder resource book and your recorder. So I'm going to get mine out. And let's start by opening up to page 9. So I have my book placed behind my phone, which is recording this lesson. And we're going to look at number 12, which is the BAGE blues. Yeah, that was what my cheer was about. We're going to skip Kagome and go back to that. So let's just start our lesson by practicing the BAGE blues. I'm going to pause the video to make sure you can open up to that. Great, let's get started with BAGE blues on page 9, number 12. First step, take a look at the music for the rhythm. Are any of the rhythms tricky in this song for you? If they seem straightforward, you don't have to stop and clap your tas, tooties, twos. But I would say in the BAGE blues, you should be aware that there is a whole note. We hold a whole note for 4 counts. Then the next step would be to look at the notes themselves. So we do know that we're only using the 4 notes. If you need to pause and write the letter names above the notes, then do that step. If you feel you have a good grasp on reading the notes, then you can move forward. But there's no shame in pausing and doing that step. So let's assume that you feel confident that you can read the rhythm clearly and that you're able to read the letter names. Now let's try applying it to playing. Okay, let's go slowly first. We're going to start this song on a B. So get your first finger ready, and let's just scan the first line of the music to see kind of what the sequence is, and let's play slowly together. Right, keep going, even if it squeaks, you know, old squeaky here. Mine has been squeaking a little bit more than usual today too. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Let's repeat. Just keep going. It's okay. So check yourself. If it squeaked a lot, check that you're blowing gently. Can relax into your belly. Remember what we talked about with being a cheerleader and being a musician. You need to stay tall but relaxed in your body. The body and mind work together when we're making music. So also, if it's squeaked, the other thing you can check is making sure that your fingers are covering the holes, especially is tricky on that E, all right, because we're still learning how to coordinate those fingers together. Let's do the repeat. Ready? Here we go. On the B, we're gonna start. Great. Let's try playing with the accompaniment. I'll meet you back in just a moment. Okay, the accompaniment a little bit fast. Let's give it a shot. Let's try it again. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at Little Tommy Tidal Mouse. Little Tommy Tidal Mouse. Sounds like a song we would have done in kindergarten. Probably will do that in kindergarten. Okay, starting on a G. 3 fingers on. Let's go slowly. Okay, here we go. How'd that go? As you notice, we jumped right into it. We didn't stop and read the rhythms or the notes first, or wrote the letter names in. So if you had a lot of trouble, That's okay if you made mistakes. Again, totally normal. If you do need to, slow down and stop and write those letter names in. Now's the time. If you don't, let's try that again. All right, here we go. Ready, steady, here we go. So you're probably busy trying to follow everything. But did you notice that I played some notes a little bit differently on the second phrase? You might notice a mark that looks like a sort of a greater than, less than sign. Sorry, I think it would be greater than in this way. That is what we call an accent mark. So those notes should stand out a bit. It's a bit of an accent. All right, my attempted Italian accent was definitely a fail, just like my cheerleader cheer at the beginning of this lesson. So if you feel like you've accomplished and you feel confident with the BAGE blues and Little Tommy Title Mouse, I'm gonna ask that you go back to number 11, Kagome, and that's what your assignment is for this week. What I would like you to do is go through Kagome by yourself. If you want an example of playing it, I'll play it at the end of this lesson, but I want to see if you can do all the steps. And in a week's time, so that would be your music lessons on a Tuesday, so the following Monday, I'll include it in the instructions, I would like you to send me a video of you playing Kagome. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. That just tells me where you are. So you're going to need to make sure that you're playing the rhythms clearly. We're also making sure that you're playing the right notes with the right finger positions. I'm also going to be listening to see if you're playing the tonguing, because next time around we're going to be learning something called the slur. So it's important to see that you're able to do the tonguing. If not, you need more practice. That's of course normal, right? But if you're giving an attempt and understanding it. So let me actually play that through for you. When you do your video, it's your choice if you want to play by yourself, play it without the accompaniment or play it with the accompaniment. I will give you an example of me playing both, but I would like for you to work it out, all those steps. I also, if I'm able to do it with the response, I'd like to see if you wrote the letter names in, what that looks like. Okay, I think I'll actually include that as an optional step. So I'm going to pause the video and get my accompaniment track ready to show you what Kagome sounds like. And again, I'm not an expert in Japanese, just like I'm not an expert in cheerleading. So if I'm saying that incorrectly and you're from a Japanese speaking household, I'm really sorry. And there you go, that's Kagome. So I wish you luck with this. Again, it's not a big deal if you make some mistakes, but I would like you to give it your best effort. And again, put yourself through the checklist as you're making the recorder. So to the best of your ability, are you playing the right rhythms? Are you playing it so it has a beautiful gentle tone? Are you using the correct finger positions? Thinking if there's anything else. Oh, is there tonguing? Are you keeping a steady beat underneath? So I'll make sure to include those instructions in the seesaw lesson. So I wish you well. Please feel like you can reach out to me if you need some assistance, if you need a private Zoom lesson, I'm here for you.